There is still a big diversion, cover-up, psychological operation going on right now, and I don't think anybody could be further up somebody else's rear end, at least without being part of their colon, than this guy right here. This is the guy who owns the account called Cat Turd. Cat Turd 2 just uploaded this to his social media account on X, saying Trump just did a long post in support of Pam Bondi and the investigation he wants to focus on: voter fraud, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen 2020 election, and arresting thugs and criminals. Thugs and criminals, that is, except for the ones who might appear on the Epstein list, which Pam Bondi tells us doesn't exist when she once told us that it did exist and is sitting on her desk. And we're going to read this post from Truth Social by Donald Trump in a second. But let me just say, on July 7th, 2025, the DOJ claimed that there's no evidence of incriminating or any incriminating client list associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and that, quote, a systematic review of Epstein's case files found no such list and no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. Then what about all the victimizers? Where are they? Because we know that there are victims. And can we expect Donald Trump to initiate a presidential pardon on Ghislaine Maxwell if there is no blackmail list and there is no Epstein client list? And what about the Epstein Victims Compensation Program? If there wasn't a client list and all of these abusers abusing their young victims, then why all the payouts? Remember, it was established in 2020, and the program itself, just from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, paid approximately $125 million to 150 victims. That's just the first 150 victims. And then after they extracted what they could with his estate, which was valued at the time at over $600 million, banks and financial institutions like JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank also faced lawsuits for allegedly facilitating Epstein's activities. Now, did Epstein have all of these activities and he just kept them in his head and there was no documentation about who the best clients were and how much money we can extract from them and what victims we can put with these clients who probably have certain preferences? I mean, remember, back in 2023, JP Morgan Chase settled a class action lawsuit for over $290 million to victims who claimed that the bank ignored Epstein's trafficking. And then you got Deutsche Bank, who settled for $75 million in a similar lawsuit. And according to some estimates, over $500 million has been paid in settlement amounts. And we're talking, that's $500 million to victims of Epstein who didn't have a client list. And then there's all this stuff about Les Wexner, and there's just so much detail that we can unearth just as independent journalists. But then you have highly popular social media influencers like Cat Turd who are trying desperately to shove all of this stuff under the rug and say, hey, let's move on to bigger and better things. So what did Donald Trump say in his Truth Social post? Check this out. What's going on with my boys, and in some cases girls? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who con the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agencies, the laptop from hell, and more? Oh, by the way, we got a director of the FBI and a deputy director, and we still don't have all of the laptop from hell for public review. What's up with that? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Maybe because they're also on the list that Pam Bondi says doesn't exist. And you guys have all agreed secretly behind the curtain, like this WWE dog and pony show that it is, to, hey, let's just let bygones be bygones. Let's forget this whole thing. Let's just go ahead and close the case. And everybody breathes a sigh of relief, like Prince Andrew right now, going, whew, thank you, Donald Trump. I think we'll do that. We just won't talk about that. But we'll pretend to fight about everything else. They haven't even given up on the JFK or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we've had securing the border, deporting criminals, except for the criminals found in the Jeffrey Epstein files, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, but Israel will. It's never enough for some people. We're about to achieve more than 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years, and we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, because, you got to vote for political parasites every 4 years or the world will fall apart. Political corruption. Politics is corruption. That's like saying we have to investigate hot fire or wet water. What are you going to investigate? Water is wet, fire is hot, and politics is corrupt. Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals, except for the ones on the Epstein list that doesn't exist, instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG, and much more. A year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Yeah, they may not care about Jeffrey Epstein, but they care about what Jeffrey Epstein and people like you represent, Donald Trump. The well-connected, corrupt, political elitists who have your way with very, very innocent and helpless people in our society. And then when it comes out that you've all done something very, very bad, everybody wants to quickly shut the case. You don't think the Clintons knew about Epstein? You don't think Obama knew about Epstein, or Trump in his first term, or Biden in his term? And why didn't any of those people do anything about releasing exactly how corrupt politicians are, and how many have been blackmailed and are on the hook for Mossad? I want to close this with what Cat Turd said back in 2023, specifically June 12th, 2023. He said, reminder, the FBI and DOJ, that's the Biden FBI and DOJ, are protecting the monsters who went to Jeffrey Epstein's Grape Island. If you're rich, powerful, and in the right political party, you can do anything, and the FBI and DOJ will protect you. 0 arrests, 0 people named, and I might add with Cat Turd, 0 soul and 0 integrity. Cat Turd objected to the Biden FBI and DOJ not exposing the monsters, but he's okay with his man Trump covering up and not exposing the same monsters. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you want to support this channel, you can do it for absolutely free. Just like this video, share this video. You don't have to donate. You don't have to give anything. You don't have to subscribe to anything. I appreciate you being here. Share this so we can successfully break the magic of the political paradigm lie. I'll see you in the next video.